So, you want to own a farm. Owning a farm may sound peaceful. Fresh air, green fields, crops growing from the soil, a simple life away from the noise of the city. But behind that beautiful farm exists a business full of risk. Land costs money, seeds cost money, even water costs money. You need to pay the workers, have to face problems like machine breaks, crops fail, prices crash. Middlemen take a cut, and sometimes, after months of hard work, the farmer is the person who earns the least. So today, we are going to look at the real economics of owning a farm, not the daydream version, the business version. The first thing you need to understand is that a farm is not really one business. It is usually 3 businesses stacked on top of each other. First, there is the land business. Second, there is the production business. And third, there is the selling business. Most people only think about the second one. They think farming means growing crops or raising animals. But before you grow anything, you need land. And land is where the economics get serious very quickly. If you already own a good land, that is a huge advantage for you. But if you do not own land, you have 2 options. You either buy it or you lease it. Buying farmland can be expensive, especially near cities or developed areas. Leasing land may be cheaper in the beginning, but it creates pressure because you must make enough profit to cover the lease payment. In the United States, the average farm size was about 469 acres in 2025. While average cropland values reached around $5,830 per acre in 2025. That means even a medium-sized farm can represent millions of dollars in land before you buy a single tractor, seed, cow, or bag of fertilizer. So if you bought just 100 acres of average cropland at that price, the land alone would cost around $583,000. And that is before the farm actually does anything. After land comes the second major cost, inputs. Inputs are everything you need to produce the crop. Seeds, fertilizer, water, pesticides, animal feed, electricity, fuel, storage building, tools, maintenance, and so more. If you buy poor seeds, your yield may suffer. If you use too little fertilizer, the crop may be weak. If you ignore pests, disease can destroy the field. If you do not water properly, the crop may fail. Also, depending on what kind of farm you own, some of this equipment might only be used for a few weeks every year, and they might cost more than others. That is one of the costly problems with farming. You may buy a very expensive machine, but only use it during planting season or harvest season. So the machine has to earn back its cost during a very small window of time. And if something breaks during that window, you do not just lose repair money, you may lose the crop. Also, you have to keep it in your mind. Unlike many businesses, farming depends on things humans cannot fully control. Climate changes, which can be more damaging than any other costs. Then comes the cost of labor. You can't operate a farm without workers. A farm needs people. On small family farms, much of this labor comes from the family itself. But on larger farms, labor becomes a major cost. And this is where the economics becomes serious. If wages are too low, workers suffer. If wages are too high compared to revenue, the farm may not survive. If workers are not available during harvest season, crops can be lost. And delaying the harvest can be costly for you. So the farm owner must manage not only crops, but people. Now let's move to revenue. How does the farm actually make money? Most farms earn in one of 4 ways. First, selling to wholesalers. This is most common. The farmer harvests the crop and sells it in bulk to a wholesaler or middleman. The advantage is speed. The farmer can sell a large quantity quickly. The disadvantage is price. The middleman often controls the negotiation. Second, selling directly in local markets. This can bring better prices, but it requires more effort, transport, time, and sometimes market relationships. Third, selling to businesses. Restaurants, supermarkets, food processors, hotels, or exporters may buy directly from farms. This can be profitable, but they usually demand consistent quality, quantity, and delivery. Fourth, direct to consumer. This is where the farm builds its own brand. For example, organic vegetables and fruits, fresh milk delivery, organic eggs, honey, or packaged rice. This can bring higher margins, but it requires marketing, packaging, trust, and customer service. So the farm owner has a choice: sell raw products cheaply and quickly, or build a brand and capture more value. This is where many farms struggle. They produce the food, but someone else captures most of the profit. The farmer sells the crop for a low price. Then the crop is cleaned, packaged, branded, transported, and sold for a much higher price. So the question becomes, is the farmer only a producer, or can the farmer become a business owner? That difference can change everything about your farm business. The difference between a small farm and a big farm, where scale becomes important. A small farm may be beautiful, but a large farm has an advantage. It can spread the cost of expensive machines across more acres. It can buy inputs in bulk. It can negotiate better contracts. It can survive a bad year more easily. That is why the small family farm is often emotionally powerful but financially difficult. According to USDA data, about 86% of US farms are small family farms, with gross cash farm income below $350,000. Many of these households depend heavily on income from outside the farm. That might sound shocking to you, but it explains the real business. So the farm may look wealthy from the outside because it owns land and equipment, but sometimes the owner may still be cash poor. Now let's talk about the risks. Why is farming profit so difficult? A farm owner faces risks that most normal businesses do not. Weather risk. A drought can reduce yields. Too much rain can delay planting. A storm can destroy crops. Disease can affect animals. Then comes the market risk. You may grow a great crop, but prices fall before you sell it. Input risk. Your fertilizer, fuel, or feed costs can rise. Debt risk. You may borrow money for land or equipment and then have one bad season. And then biological risk. Plants and animals are living things. They do not always follow spreadsheets. This is why farming can be one of the most emotionally difficult businesses. You can do everything right and still lose money. So, can owning a farm make you rich? Yes, but not automatically. A farm can become profitable if the owner understands three things. Production. You must know how to grow or raise something efficiently. Then, distribution. You must know how to get that product to the buyer without losing too much value. Third, positioning. You must know why customers should buy from you instead of someone else. The richest farmers are often not just farmers, they are operators. Because they understand land, labor, supply chain, branding, storage, pricing, and customer trust. For example, a farmer who sells raw milk may earn very little, but a farm that turns milk into branded yogurt, cheese, or premium delivery can capture more value. A farmer who sells mangoes to a wholesaler may earn a small margin, but a farm that sorts, packages, brands, and delivers premium mangoes directly to customers may earn more. A farmer who grows vegetables and sells quickly at low prices may struggle, but a farm that builds a trusted organic brand can charge more, if the quality is real and the trust is strong. So the lesson is simple. Farming is not just about growing food. It is about building a system around food. So, should you own a farm? Well, it depends on what you are really buying. If you are buying a farm because you think food demand automatically means easy profit, you may be disappointed. But if you understand land value, scale, operations, and multiple revenue streams, a farm can be a powerful, long-term asset. The best farm owners are not just farmers. They are land managers, machine managers, weather risk managers, commodity traders, and sometimes real estate investors. A farm may look simple, but behind that peaceful land is one of the most complex businesses in the world. Because owning a farm is not just about growing food, it is about surviving the economics of nature. So yes, you can own a farm. The real question is, can you stay profitable long enough to harvest it?